This is not a video about fitting in. Fitting in was never the goal. But here's what I want to know. If you stripped away the schedule, the roles, the woman everyone needs you to be, what's left? Because where I grew up, in the Faroe Islands, the question isn't a crisis. It's the first thing you ask before you build anything. And American mothers are out here building entire lives on a foundation they've never actually met. So I've written a couple things down that I really want to share with you. And the first sentence is, you were taught to perform, not to know yourself. Does that hit with you? Because when it comes to the social media, when it comes to who are you, when you sit with that question, too often we really just don't know. And it's kind of scary. Because God has already told you who you are. He already told us who we are. And we very often stray away from that. We very often forget that because we spend more time with things that really don't matter. We spend more time on Instagram, on TikTok, and even on YouTube sometimes if the content isn't the best and the most fruitful. And we spend more time on these things instead of with God, instead of in the Word, and therefore we don't always know who we are. We let other people decide for us, especially the ones that we follow, the reels that we watch, right? This is why I deleted Instagram almost a year ago soon, and it's been very freeing. I have started just, not that I cared too much, but I still did. I have started to care so much less now about what other people think about me. Maybe it's also because I'm getting older. I'm 34, so maybe that's the reason why. But after deleting Instagram, it doesn't matter as much anymore because I'm not trying to keep up. I'm not trying to fit in. Oh, that person has that or says this. And therefore it becomes a part of me, right? When whatever you consume, you become. So if we consume reels from social media and ideas that we get from other people that aren't our own, then we become that. And it's kind of scary, I think, because that it consumes us so much that we forget who we are. We don't know who we are. And we don't know how to think critically as well. And when I say that we are taught to perform, I mean, look online. Everything is performing. Everything is also around, like, just how we are around other people, especially in public. A lot of it is performance. Yeah, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have any etiquette at all. Like, of course, we need to be polite. We have different masks, right? Like, we're not the same person per se at home as when we are out or when we are in church or when we are at a birthday party. We're just a little bit of a different version of ourselves. But a lot of it, unfortunately, is performance. If you think about that, if you take a little moment to think about that, when are you truly, truly yourself? And when are you not? It's just something pretty interesting to think about, I think. So the question is, what happens when no one ever asks you, who are you really? What are your passions? What are your gifts? What are your dreams? How did God create you, and with what? What personality traits? What strengths? What weaknesses? And once we really know those things, we won't know it unless we sit with it, we read the Word, we understand how God created us in your own way. No one is like you. And I think that is so cool. Why are we trying to fit in? Let's be different. Let's be the way that God created us. And then there's a word that has really come to me a lot these past days, and that is tending. To tend to something. It is a very old word. Eve tended the garden. And what does it mean to tend to yourself? To tend to your home? And to tend a day, for example? What does that mean? To tend yourself, it's not just about yourself, but it is about taking care of what God made, what God created. And being a mom, you must know this as well. How long ago was it that you really tended nourished your soul, you tended yourself, you took care of yourself. When was the last time? Because I gotta say, for me, it was a very long time. And the years after babies, they just really go fast, right? And that's also when my husband said, Mona, you really need a break. And I'm going to give it to you. So the kids are in absolutely amazing hands. And my husband, like I said before, sent me on my trip to the beach. And, I'm really grateful for this opportunity as well because his job, he loves his family so much. So he wanted me to stay home with the kids because that was my deepest desire. And he works so hard, such long hours for us to be able to do that. And yet he sends me away so that I can tend to myself. And my question is, when was the last time you tended yourself? You took care of yourself? I think it's very important that we do, because if we don't, then how can we tend others? The most important people in the world, our children and our husband. How can we tend others if we do not tend ourselves? I think it's very important that we take a moment. You don't have to go to the beach. You don't have to, but to at least what really refuels you, what rejuvenates you, and then take that moment to do that. Not just every fifth year, but as often as you can. Now, if we think about the word tend, and then also what we talked about before, who are you? Then I need to say something very important. Before I just say, just tend yourself. Who are you? We need to know that first, because we cannot tend a garden that we've never walked through. We cannot tend a garden that we don't know what to tend, what flowers, what plants, what is in the garden. And that is why it's so important to know yourself. It is hard to steward a life, a woman that you have never actually met. And I'm not saying that every one of you don't know who you are. I would say that within these past couple of years, I've really gotten to know who I am more and more. And it is a bit of a never-ending story. It takes years to really understand who you are, and we change as well, right? We're not a robot. We change and bend depending on what happens to us, what we go through, and just how we grow through situations and through seasons. And we are a different versions of ourselves depending on the season. But I just think that knowing yourself first, who God created you to be, it's just a lot easier to tend to. It's easier to take care of. Now, in the Nordic countries, they're still human. So there are people that don't really know who they are, and they also follow the trends. They are on social media, so they are also trying to keep up with what is happening, and they take on other people's identities because they spend more time on the screen than with themselves or reading or in the Word, right? So it's the same concept as here in America, but at the same time, thinking about my own mother and my own childhood, we didn't really ask very often, who are you, or those questions. You just were. And that's another thing where, coming from the Faroe Islands, there's only 50,000 people, or now it's 55,000 people. You just know who you are because you are very aligned with the culture. There's not many people there, and the culture is very rigid. If you are born in the Faroe Islands, you are a Faroese person. It's a huge part of your identity. And so it's not that much of a question of who are you. And when it came to personalities as well, when I was younger, it was very much just that's how they are. It's just how they are. And people are, not always, but a lot of times, accepted for who they are. They just are, I guess. It's a bit hard to explain, but fitting in often equals chasing something. Trying to fit in equals to chase something. And if you're always trying to fit in, you will always end up chasing. To tend is actually knowing and staying. so that you can grow in that space no matter what the circumstance is. You know, I had a pretty big personality and I still kind of do, but maybe I've kind of mellowed out getting older. But I was very wild, I'd say. And I wasn't that calm. I wasn't a calm person. My parents, they used to say, Mona, count to 5 before you speak so fast. So I have had to learn that calmness. And the good thing is I knew where to look for it. I looked in my own culture. I looked at my own childhood and what my parents did. Thank goodness. And that's what I want to teach you guys. You don't have to be innately calm in order to be calm. You can learn how to calm down, how to be more calm and more steady. And I really think that is also the new flex. Like I talked about in my recent video, how the calm mother is the new flex and the steady mother is the new flex of the society today. It's not about the mom who does everything at the same time. Because truthfully, I don't really think you can do it all. I don't really think you can have it all. Not at the same time. And I was a boss girl before I had kids. And I had huge visions. And then I had my baby, my first one, and then the second, and then the third. And each time I was like, no. I need to be home. I want to be with them. I want to take care of them. I want to be the person that they can turn to every single day, every minute of the day when they're this little. And it was just weird because all of the other things didn't matter as much. It's still been an echo within me that what to do. And that's why I started this YouTube channel now a couple weeks ago, because that echo, I encourage everyone to listen to it. And especially if you feel like it's from God, especially if you feel like it's a calling. Do you have an echo inside of yourself? Do you know what I'm talking about when I ask you an echo? Like it's the same kind of thought that is inside. You can kind of hear it, but you keep pushing it down. I made a video about this as well. And a lot of people said that it resonated with them. So I just thought that that's another thing to think about. Now, this video was about quite a few things. So I just wanted to say hi and make a more raw video. I think it's important sometimes to move away from the script and have a more real conversation. Because now that I've done YouTube for a while, I also know how to structure the videos a bit better. I'm getting better every time, but you know, you have to do it a certain way so that either the algorithm pushes it out or so that people stay for longer, you know, that you hook them and all that. So I don't know. I don't know what I think about that. I don't always like it because I like these conversations. But at the same time, if you think about speeches, a keynote speech also does kind of the same thing when people come and listen. So I am kind of torn in between those things. But if I can do these raw videos sometimes, then it makes me happy. And so I really hope that you got something out of this video. I'm praying for you. I'm cheering for you. And if you like this video, then let me know what you think below. And then also you can watch this video next. And I will see you next Monday.